Are necessary to mitigate the incident under unified command with the military.
What are the names of the streets that form the perimeter?
We're looking at Cactus right now, all the way up to Van Buren. So that's kind of the perimeter if we're taking going north and south, and then extending up to the interstate, as I said, northbound, southbound, Interstate 215, from basically Cactus to Harley Knox was closed off.
And that'll stay that way throughout the night?
And that'll stay as long as it's necessary.
How many people are we talking about that have been evacuated, and how long will they stay evacuated?
I don't know the number of people that were evacuated from the business community itself here. I don't have actual numbers, but it'll remain closed as long as this operation continues.
What are you guys doing to assist the military right now? What are you guys doing to assist the military right now?
Basically, what we're doing to assist them is, at this point, we are going to make entry to the building. That is obviously a unified command operation with the military. So their people will be also part of that entry.
Captain, you said that you assessed the threat that you decided to double the evacuation zone. What exactly is the threat that is posed?
Well, as long as we have an aircraft in the building, I don't know what it contains. We don't know at this point. And I'm not going to speculate or mention that. Like I said, you'll need to ask the military on that. But again, it's an aircraft, an F-16 military aircraft that went down. So we're going to take the necessary precautions and make sure that we act in the best course of safety for the public as well as ours.
Bottom line, then, how dangerous is the threat that you're looking at now in the next couple of hours?
Once again, as long as that aircraft is there, we consider that a viable and dangerous area, so we're taking the precautions necessary.
Did your department transport the pilot?
Not to my knowledge. That pilot landed in the March Air Force Base area,
And what's
in the base itself.
Did you guys treat him or examine him? And what did you see?
I don't know any information about the pilot himself because he landed outside of this area. So I don't know if the military treated him and actually took care of that pilot.
Do you have any updated information on the injured that were inside the building?
No, other than there were minor injuries, again, as a result of the impact of the aircraft into the building. We went ahead and deconned those people because they were exposed to that aircraft when it landed. It was debris from the impact itself. They were minor, and we just went ahead and had them transported to a local hospital. 12.
You transported all 12?
All 12.
And when you say decon, what do you mean? What did you guys do?
Basically host them down. It's a quick decon that takes place. Bring them outside. They get basically hosed off. They get during the evaluation, and then they're basically transported to a hospital.
Did any of them have jet fuel on them?
Not to my knowledge.
And with regard to the evacuation zone, I know you can't give an exact time, but do you anticipate this being in effect till sunup tomorrow? Can this be cleared in the next 3 or 4 hours? Do you have a time frame?
I don't have a time frame. Again, that could take several hours. We could be here to tomorrow morning, but again, I don't have an exact time frame for you.
Do you know when your team will make entry into the building?
That is under the process right now. They're working with our incident commanders, and they're setting up for the entries.
And what are you going to do when you get back in there?
Well, they're going to search the building. They're going to look for whatever is it that may be of danger to the operation. If there's anything that they need to recover, that's going to be a military operation.
What's the fire department going to do when it goes back in?
We're going to go and assess the situation inside. We're going to report back what is it that we found, and then again, that'll be a military operation as far as what continues further.
Captain, a plane fell out of the sky and no one died today. How remarkable do you feel that is?
That's pretty remarkable that it fell into a building. There wasn't a large explosion. There was no civilians injured severely. The pilot was ejected, survived. So obviously it was good. We didn't have a tragedy.
Yes, how much builders responded? As far as alarms, how many alarms was this fire?
The first initial alarm arrived, and I know they requested a second alarm. So for us, that basically around 15 units. And after that, there were requests for specific equipment, specialized equipment like our hazmat team, and then obviously the military themselves responded. I don't know how many units they came in with, but then we had Riverside City Fire Department also respond. So there was quite a few units.
How much do you guys train with March for the possibility of aircraft crashes?
What's that?
How much does CalFire train with March for the possibility of aircraft?
We do train with March Air Force Base, you know, and that's something that we've done in the past, and we're very familiar, and we constantly communicate with them. So this is not the first incident that we dealt with that has to do with military aircraft. So it's something that you know, our incident commanders are versed on, and whenever there's an incident like that, we have direct communication with them, and then the response is always a unified command to these type of incidents.
Fernando, is the plane carrying some type of gas that's also forcing these evacuations, that they're worried about the fumes that could be coming?
Well, remember the aircraft runs on jet fuel itself, so that's highly explosive.
In addition.
In addition, yeah. So that's highly explosive, flammable. So when that aircraft, you know, impacts, there's a possibility of large explosion. That didn't occur, to my knowledge, here. Again, we didn't have a large fire or a large explosion, which was really good, obviously, because we would have had potential for a large disaster then.
Let me rephrase. Was the plane transporting something in addition to the gas that was fueling it?
Not to my knowledge.
Your people have not been warned on that?
Not to my knowledge. Again, any questions that have to do, again, with whatever the aircraft itself was transporting, you would have to ask the military for
But are
it.
your teams preparing for the possibility that there was ordnance on board or something in addition to that jet fuel? That
We're always going to prepare for the unexpected.
Are you aware of how much fuel the plane may have right now?
No, sir.
Is there any concern that the building might collapse, the structural integrity of it?
As far as I know, the integrity is good on the building. There has been no information of a possible collapse.
Any estimation of the size of the hole and the damage that it created to the building?
No, I don't have any information on that.
Tilt-up, that's fire service lingo for...
It's a tilt-up building, like these commercials. Basically, they're prefabricated walls that are put together, and then you know, make up a large commercial building.
have you talked to the military? Are they going to provide a briefing tonight?
I don't know what the military's reaction is going to be, or who's going to respond to any of the military questions. I can give you a number off camera that all of you can call for any information regarding the aircraft or what the military plans to do.
Captain, could you go through again exactly what the operation will be tonight, so the people that are evacuated know that when they're out of harm's way?
Basically, what it's going to entail is going to be the hazardous materials teams that under Unified Command that's going to go inside the building, assess the damage, assess the remainder of the aircraft, and anything else that potentially could be a problem. You mentioned that the building may not be solid itself. There's a potential for collapse, so we're going to evaluate all those situations and make sure that, you know, there is nothing left behind that could pose a problem to the rest of the business community here, as well as the citizens that live around this area.
Do you know how the plane will be removed from the warehouse when it's time? Will it come out in pieces or come out all at once? Any idea?
No, sir, I don't have any information on that. That would be a military question, an FAA question too.
Is it possible that the evacuation area that we have right now could possibly widen, depending on what you find when you're inside of that building?
That is possible.
Are there any other scenes that you're looking into as well?
No.
Again, on the number, 12 transported?
Correct. 12 transported with minor injuries.
And Captain, you can't give us a ballpark of how many people have been evacuated. Can you tell us where they've gone?
No. Most, what I've seen personally is the business community around here were told to evacuate. They were removed from their businesses, from their actual work here, and I would assume they all went back home because this is a business district area. Business is not a single family dwelling subdivision area, so most of these folk that work here probably were released to go back home.
They're not coming back tonight. You wouldn't
No.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So for the military.
All right, everybody, that's going to do it for us here on News Now, which is a part of fox10phoenix.com. For the next few minutes, we're going to continue to show you this video from the scene earlier in Riverside County, California. Wow, when you hear the details from CalFire, exactly what happened, a lot of people just grateful to be alive, a lot of people very thankful that this situation was not a lot worse. Please join me, Mike Page, and the rest of the Fox 10 Phoenix crew again tomorrow for News Now, streaming live news coverage from across the country 11 hours a day. Friendly reminder, please like, share, and subscribe. Let your friends, your family, your coworkers, your neighbors, everybody you know about us. This will likely be one of the stories of the day to talk about tomorrow at work, at the water cooler, or at school, even over the weekend. Everybody take care. We'll see you then.